Jim and Betty Lou Mercer walked the fence line separating their property from what they now describe as a dump. It's a composting facility run by Calgary-based BIO-Can Ltd. For years, they've been dealing with garbage blowing onto their property, seagulls, flies, and a horrible smell.
It can be a chemical smell, a rotting vegetable smell.
Other times you can smell the sulphur really quite strong.
Along with the smell, there's all of those flies. Betty Lou says she was able to fill this fly bag in just a few hours last month.
The flies are they're unbelievable. They're those kind of flies that are sticky and they won't leave you alone. They try and get in your ears and your eyes.
They wonder why a compost facility is allowed to store so much gypsum from old drywall and tons of sulphur.
It's like garbage, all this reject gyprock that's come in and all the vapor barrier that goes with it and all the other stuff from construction that they mix in with it is just... It just isn't acceptable to have this piled up like it is.
BIO-Can is not doing any interviews. In an email, the company says it adds the sulphur to its compost and sells the product to farmers. CBC News has learned the company does not have approval to store this much sulphur. Alberta Environment confirms the company has as much as 95 times more than what it's allowed without approval. It's estimated the amount of sulphur or sulphur-enhanced compost on site is 9,500 tons. The province says the company has chosen to remove it rather than seek approval to store that amount. The site is located in Wheatland County. Local officials say they've tried to obtain information about what's stored on site, but the company has refused.
We don't have an authority on that. Environment has, they have regulations following that, so Environment certainly needs to get that information to meet there, but we don't have any authority, so they don't have to provide that information to us specifically.
It's kind of an interesting situation.
It's frustrating.
It's in your backyard.
It's frustrating.
The county, along with the town of Strathmore, are concerned about air quality. They've contracted out mobile testing to see what's in the air and whether it poses a health risk.
There's all kinds of reported materials out there, and we just, it's just a matter that we just don't have any answers. We just don't have the information that I think we need to ensure that our citizens are safe.
Despite the company's pledge to clean up the site, local landowners are skeptical. They formed a group called Neighbours Against Pollution.
The owners had held an open house last year and promised to resolve the issues. It's only gotten worse. It's just grown well beyond its footprint. There's excessive sulphur, the garbage, the flies, the seagulls, all of that is going on is just not acceptable. And we formed a committee to have a larger voice so that we can be heard.
They say the facility should be shut down and cleaned up. That's what the Mercers want too.
We've had lots of promises from the owners of this facility over the years that this is going to be fixed and that's going to be fixed, and it isn't.
Brian Labby, CBC News, near Strathmore.